Hello, my friends. Welcome back. How are you? I hope doing okay. Let's head on over and read the inspiration for the day. I have the red jar out to put the ones that we read inside of it. So here we go. What did we get? We either make ourselves miserable or we make ourselves strong. The amount of work is the same. Carlos Castaneda. That is so true. Okay, I'm going to put these up and let's get on in what I have in store for us today. Okay, we're going to use this mold right here and we're going to make some inlays on a budget. So if you really want some of those tiny inlays, I'm going to show you how you can create you some. Okay, I'm showing you the ones that we're going to use right now. And then now we're going to get into the tiny ones. And they are tiny. Look at the wings right there. Then there's a horse, a butterfly. We're going to skip those. Then there's a flower, a cross, a bee. Or that may be a fly. I'm not sure it's a bee or a fly. It's probably a bee. Okay. I have some resin right here. It is Let's Resin Epoxy. And I have mixed it up already. I'm telling you, the cup's clean. I just reused my cups. So I'm going to spritz some alcohol in the mold. And then I'm going to go ahead and put some of this resin in here. I didn't show all of this because I'm just putting resin in the mold. But what I did was I just put a little bit in at first. And then I took my heat gun and I heated it up. And if I seen any bubbles, I nudged them and let them come to the top and then sprayed a little alcohol to pop them. But I didn't get all of that part because it was just stuff that you all would already know about. And it would have taken us longer to watch me slowly go through that part. So here soon it's going to change. And we're going to demold these. Okay, we're back. They're cured. Now let's go ahead and demold each one of them and take a look at them. Here's the flower. And I'm going to try to get those leaves on the side as well in an inlay. Man, those are going to be tiny. Okay, and here's this one. It looks like it has a flower and a bee in it. So a few bubbles in that one, but they're not on the top. They're in the back. So that shouldn't be a problem. And then here's a pretty vase. And I thought that vase would look pretty with one of the flowers out of it, hanging out of it. And then here's a girl. It looks kind of like a cameo. And here's an owl. And then we have a shield with some flowers on the side or leaves. And these leaves on the side, I'm showing you how tiny they are. And we are going to try to capture those in an inlay. And then here's a butterfly. And if I can do it, you can do it. And then here's another flower. We may just get the flower and not the leaves that aren't attached to it. And then here's a half moon. And it has like a little star next to it. And we're not even going to try to get that little star right there. Because that's going to be too small for an inlay. And then we have a star with a cute little heart in the center of it. If you can see it. Can you see the heart in the center? And then we have those precious wings. And then here is a pretty little seashell. And then the horse. I love horses. And then another butterfly. and then another flower. And then here is the cross, and it is tiny. I keep getting pieces of silicone on my gloves. Okay, now here's all the ones that we demolded. Now, we're going to use Let's Resin, a silicone rubber, to make our inlays with. So I'm going to get my scales out because you have to measure this out using scales. And I'm going to take 2 of my little measuring cups here, put it on my scale, tear it out, and then I'm going to pour. And I'm just going to pour maybe half of a cup, and maybe that'll be enough. I'm pretty sure it will. We're going to do some more inlays too. I'm going to show you 2 different ways to do these small inlays. So we're going to have some fun today. Now I'm going to pour that part B of the silicone, and I'm going to make sure I pour the same amount in this cup as I did in the other one. And I got it spot on. It needs a little bit more. And I got to take a little bit out. Don't you hate it when you do that? You just need a little bit of it out of there, and then you get a little bit out, and then you need a little bit more in. Just can't seem to get it right. Now I got to put some in. Oh, goodness. Let's see if that'll do it. Nope, it needs a little bit more. And a little bit more. Maybe this will do it this time. Surely it will. Okay, we got it. I almost knocked the cup off of there. Okay, now I'm going to take my 2 I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, I'm showing you what other pieces we're going to do. I'm going to try to make an inlay out of that wing, an inlay out of this wing, and if you turn it to the side, we may not be able to use this one because there's bubbles on the top of it. So I'm going to toss that one to the side, because if we do make one with it, then the bubbles will be on our inlay too. Then this cross right here we're going to try to do. And I'm picking out pieces in my craft room drawer that I've made before, and they have to have something for the silicone to set in to make the inlay. So if you see that pattern around the butterfly, that's what we're able to pour the silicone into to get the inlay out of. And I'm also going to try to make one of these thermometers. This would be a pretty big inlay right here. But I thought if we had silicone left over, we could use it for that. And then I'm going to try to get the center of this cross right here. You see how it has an area to pour silicone down into? Okay, now this is everything we're going to use to get an inlay out of. So I'm going to push those to the side, and we're going to start with these. Let's go ahead and get our silicone stirred. I don't know if it helps it or not, but I was letting it sit over there in the cups before I'd mixed it to let it degas a little bit. I don't know if that helped or not, but I always like to do it when I'm doing something with the silicone. And I stir it really slow. Making sure I get the sides of the cup and the bottom of the cup really good. It's sort of like stirring resin. And this silicone, it degasses really well. So any bubbles that you may see in it, usually they're going to come to the top and, you know, just release and pop. Sometimes I'll take a straw and blow on the top of the silicone, and you can just see the bubbles just pop. Okay, we're going to set that to the side. And now I'm going to get one of my skewer sticks because it's really small, and that's how we're going to drop the silicone down into the areas to make our inlay. And if you spill any on the outside like I just did, just make sure that you go back with like a Q-tip or some kind of brush and make sure you get it off. Because if you don't, you're going to have more cleanup to do when you pull the inlay out. And I don't think they're that easy to cut around. Because if you make a mistake and cut the inlay, you know, you can't go back. It's done deal. So I try to make sure that I keep it clean around that area so I don't have to have anything, you know, to clean off of it when I pull it out. And this is the butterfly. Now I sped it up a little bit so we can move on through these pieces. But I wanted to do it with you so you could see just how I'm doing it. And this looks like the little flower. And I got a little bit on the edge, so I'm cleaning it up before I move forward. And this is another one of the little butterflies. And this is the half moon. And remember I said we wasn't going to do the little star on there because, man, that's going to be too tiny. This looks like the vase. And I can't really see what that one is. It looks like one of the flowers, but I'm not sure. And this looks like the little cameo. And this is the owl. I believe that's the star. Okay, now we're going to scoot these pieces out. And I'm going to go ahead and pour in this one because I have a lot of silicone left. So I know we're going to have enough. And now I'm going to drop some silicone down in the center of this cross here so we can get an inlay out of this. And we won't go through using any of these inlays because the video would be too long, but I will use some of these inlays with you guys. I'll show you how how to use them in another video. Right now, I'm just showing you how you can create yourself some inlays. And over on Toompish Crafts channel, she does a lot of tiny inlays. So you might check her out too on some of her inlays that she does. She does sell a lot of inlays too. But if you just want to make some inlays yourself, this is a really neat way to do it and get you some really cute inlays. And I know if you do resin, you've got to have resin pieces laying around your craft room. So just go through those pieces and find ones that you might like to have an inlay out of, but they have to have something on the top of them that you can pour that silicone into to enable you to pull an inlay off of it, if that makes sense. And I'm just putting a little bit of silicone on the top of these pieces. Okay, now we're back and our silicone has cured. So let's go ahead and check this one out first and let's see what we got. Oh my goodness, look at that inlay, you guys. Look at that. It even got the hole for the keychain to go through. Little nib there. You can just cut that off. But check that inlay out. Isn't that neat? That would be so beautiful in something. Now let's get our little butterfly out. Let me see if I can get it started here. I may have to get a tool or something and get it underneath the edge there. But I think I got it started, yeah. And look at that, that's pretty thick, you know. You wouldn't think that inlay would be that thick. Oh, I ripped that one, y'all. But no biggie. We still can use this inlay. You just use it in 2 pieces. So don't toss it. I'm not going to toss it. You know, and if you do that, don't toss it because you can use both pieces. See there? You can still use that inlay. And you don't have to use them together either. You could use them, you know, just laid out in a piece would be cute. See there? You can still use it. No big deal. But they still turned out pretty thicker than I thought they would. I shouldn't have kept pulling on it. If I would have lifted it from the other side, I would have had the whole inlay intact. Now I'm interested to see if this inlay is going to catch the whole butterfly. Because I did have some of the silicone drip off of this piece right here, but I noticed that it still stayed over there on the body of the butterfly and his little eye and his little feeler. Oh my goodness, you guys, it captured all of it. Look at that. It got his little eye and everything. That is so cute. I'm just going to cut that little piece off right there. And that's his little antler, it looks like. Yeah. So it captured every piece of that butterfly off of that little earring. Isn't that neat? This is a super fun way to make some really cute inlays. Now we're going to take this wing right here and let's see what this inlay looks like. Oh yeah, this one's nice and thick. Look at that. And I do have a mold that has both of these wings in it. So, I couldn't find the other one though that I casted. So, I don't know. I just have one right now. Okay, here's the cross. Let's see if we can get the center of this out and see what this inlay looks like. Oh, look at that. Now that's a nice inlay. That's really thick and nice. That's cute. Now let's get our monster inlay out. This inlay is going to be big. Bigger than the others, that's for sure. And this is like it's a thermometer, but it's really a shaker mold, is what it really is. I made this casting out of a shaker mold. I just haven't put the shaker together yet. Look at that. Isn't that neat? That is awesome. So if you have any shaker molds laying around and you've casted in them and you haven't put the shaker together yet, see if you can go pour and make an inlay out of it. Okay, now let's start on our tiny, tiny inlays. Let's see if we can keep all of them intact. And I'm going to use my little skewer stick here to get these started because they're super tiny. And there is the vase. Super cute. That vase would look cute with one of these flowers hanging out of it. And there's that one. It has like a flower in it and a little bee and a shield, it looks like. And this is the little cameo girl. I'm thinking about making us a new inspiration quote jar too. We are going through these inspiration quotes in no time, you guys. I'm wondering if we've already had that quote that we read today already. And here is the butterfly. And it's, look at that. It's pretty thick to be such a tiny inlay. I think it really depends on how deep the piece is that you're pouring the silicone into. Whereas, you know, how thick your inlay is going to be. And here's the owl. I thought I was going to lose his feet there for a minute, but I didn't. I got every piece of him. Look at that owl. Isn't that cute? It captured every single detail in that inlay, you guys. Look at the detail in it. I'm trying to show you to see, so you can see his eyes, at how much detail is in there. Hopefully y'all could see that. These inlays really surprised me at how great they turned out. And I got this mold right here at Hobby Lobby in their UV resin section. And look at that. Those two little flowers or stars, I think they're stars, came out off of that piece. Now let's see if we can get these leaves over here as an inlay off next to this flower. Oh my goodness, you guys, it's coming out. I'm not believing this. Look at that. Isn't that precious? It turned out. And I was really trying to make sure I didn't over pour on this one, because I knew that if I did, it was going to be really hard to trim it. And I only got the bottom part of the leaves on this flower because the other leaves weren't attached. And there's the little flower. Isn't that too cute, you guys? I'm trying to turn it to the side so you can see just how thick or thin they ended up being. I'm trying to be really careful and not rip it. And there it is. See, had I done that first one or second one like this that I ripped, I wouldn't have ripped it. The butterfly that I ripped into, if I would have grabbed it from the other side, it would have made it. But I just kept pulling on it. And here is I think this is a bee. And this one's going to be really tedious because it has really fine points in it that are going to be tedious. So I'm just trying to lift each piece going around it out a little bit so I can pull it out easier and not rip it. Oh, there it is. Look at that, you guys. Isn't that cute? I think I lost one of its little legs. Oh, goodness. I could cut those off and just use the other parts of it. Or just leave it like that and it lost a leg somewhere, you know? Make it look even more realistic, huh? I think this is the tiny shell. Yes. Look at that. Isn't that precious? Too cute. All right, here are the wings. Let's see if I can get these out without ripping them. They look tiny. I got one out. There it is. That is so small. These would be really pretty in like a necklace or some earrings. Let me see if I can get this other one out. Get them turned around right so you can see them. They're wanting to stick to my gloves. I just can't get them right. Good Lord. Okay, there it is. Thank God. Those are precious. I love those. Okay, here's another one of the butterflies. And I think the butterflies are a little bit different. And there it is. That turned out really good. But so did the other one. And here is another one of the flowers. I don't think I captured all the leaves on this one either, but they were ones that weren't attached. Let me see if I can get it laid out here right. See, there is one of the leaves that stuck on it, but I didn't try to get it. So I'll probably just trim that one off. And here's the half moon. I think I put some silicone in the star to see if I could get it out. Yep, I did. But I left it in there. This is the horse, I believe. And there it is. It turned out beautiful. It has all the detail in it. All of its hair and its mane and its eyes and its ears. And here is the star that had the cute little heart in the center of it. Let's see if we can see that heart, if it picked up all the detail in it. Yes, there's the heart in the center. Do you see it? And this is another flower. And here is the last one right here. And this one is, that's why I left this one for last, because it looked very, very hard to get out. I don't know if this one's going to make it, you guys. But it did. Oh my goodness, look at that. It looks like a piece is missing from it though. Yep, there it is. And it goes right there on the top right there. See how that little piece is missing off the side? There it is right there. But still, that's not too bad considering how tiny that thing is. Well, that's all of my ideas for some little tiny inlays. I hope someone has a really fun time with experimenting with a little bit of this. So it's about that time, my friends, for a sweet goodbye, and I will see you tomorrow. For those of you who want to get in on the drawing for this piece right here, please let me know. I will post the list in my community tab really soon. I have some names to go on it, so you might just check that list to see if you're on it before commenting. Okay, just keep checking and I'll post it really soon. God bless you. Goodbye, my friends.